What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we will, as usual, be continuing with our little 300 Reddit questions series. Today we are getting into part 9, where we will be answering from questions 201 until question 225. If you enjoyed this video, then please make sure to hit the like button below, subscribe and turn on notifications bell. Please make sure as well to share this with your friends as it means a lot to me. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter. There will be links in the description and the pinned comment down below. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So question 201, what is something that happened to you despite the odds being stacked against you? Something that happened to me was actually me getting enrolled to the university that I'm in. Now, the university I'm in is called Monash University, and if you do some research, you'll realize that this is one of the world's best universities, especially in Australia as well. But I'm in the Malaysian campus, and the only reason for me to ever leave my home country and travel abroad to enroll in the university and go for such distance was to tell myself, Baha, you can do this. You're better than what everyone thinks. And here I am, an engineer in one of the world's best universities, and hopefully I graduate from that. The next question. If you are a superhero, what would be your name, costume, and catchphrase? Who would you fight? Uh, my name would be the Zenith. Like I told you before, that Zenith means the best of the best in this world. My costume would be something like the Flash, except that instead of having the lightning bolt on his outfit, I would probably go for something like a big Z. And my catchphrase would be the best or nothing. Credits to Mercedes-Benz for that. And who would I fight? Probably Thor, because if you're being the best of the best, then you have the best of the entire world, and I'm sure that no one will come closer to you. The reason I picked Thor is because he's incredibly strong. That it's very rare to actually find a worthy opponent for him. Not even Thanos, by the way. What was the last song that got stuck in your head? Something that I was just playing about right now before I started recording this video. It was Justin Timberlake's song called Summer Love. Yeah, I actually enjoyed the lyrics and the melody and the tunes for that. It didn't really get stuck in my head, but I truly enjoyed it. But if there is one song that actually got stuck in my head, it was probably something known as a song called Fire Away by Eric Serna. It just completely reflects on my life. Like, no matter how hard things get, no matter the odds, whatever the cost, you just need to fire straight up and do whatever you want to do. I just tend to love any kind of music that reflects on my life. What is the longest or most complex thing you have memorized? Um, Probably some crazy mathematical equation. I honestly don't remember right now, but it was most likely integration in my A levels back then. That was like in 2014 or 2015. But right now, I don't really know much about what I memorized. Assume that God exists. Well, he exists, I know that for a fact. For our purposes, he created the universe and has witnessed everything that has happened since. He also has control over everyone's lives and destinies. Once a millennium, he appears to somebody in his human form and will answer one question with absolute truth. Whom he has chosen you. What do you ask him? Dear God, based on my actions so far, although I know for a fact that I've messed up pretty miserably, and you know that what I'm going to do in the future as well, because everything goes by your own destiny. Will I make it to heaven or hell in the end? And if I make it to hell, how long will it be? And if I make it to heaven, what would it be for? Please let me know. If you could have any superpower for just one day, but you get to choose the superpower, and when you activate it, what would you choose and when would you use it? Uh, okay. Speaking as of right now, the most horrendous superpower I would ever want to choose is not going to be about money. It's to be able to attract any girl that I want in this world. Like I just want to know how it feels when you have the whole world under your knees. Like just having an idea of like how would you feel if every girl fell for you the moment she saw you and she couldn't resist you for some reason or the other? And who would stay because they want to be with you, and who would leave the moment that you lose the superpower? Because the ones that would leave then they were just in for something and they weren't there for you. Definitely not the goals that I'm looking for, but who would stay when you don't have anything after you have lost that superpower? That would make a very big difference about your choices in life, my choices at least. In what way have you experienced the saying you don't know what you have until you lose it? In the way that sooner or later I might actually come to, well, okay, let's not talk about the future, but if we were talking about something in the past, then in such a way that I still remember the time when I have bought a drone, it literally cost me all of my savings. It was an incredibly expensive purchase, and everyone told me that I'm crazy for doing it, but I did it anyway because I wanted to go against all odds back then. I was basically challenging the world. And 5 minutes into my first flight, I have crashed my drone and I lost 50% of the asset price. I was never able to reclaim that. So that was a very big loss for me. And I have appreciated the value of money because right now it's taking me an incredibly long time to actually save up to get a replacement for that. And I never knew how valuable that money was until I have lost it in a very big accident. No one to blame here except me for not taking precautions. Someone you love will die at the end of today. Only you know this. They don't. How do you spend your last day with them, and when do you tell them that they're going to die, if ever? Um, to be honest with you, I would tell them that they will die as soon as I see them because, truth be told, I don't want them to get surprised with a terrible reality. Like, I just want them to get to know what's going to happen to them and for them to actually prepare for that. Like, as a believer of the final day of judgment and all of that, I would say that if you tell someone that they're going to die soon, chances are they will want to apologize and fix all of their mistakes, and this will reduce the pain that they will have on the day of judgment. So, because I truly love them, I don't want them to feel the pain. So, obviously, I will tell them that, hey, you're going to die. You might want to fix your mistakes as soon as possible. And how would I spend my last day with them? I would honestly spend it with them, giving them whatever they want, however they want it. They meant the world to me, and I'm definitely not happy about this. And I don't want to break their heart. But I still have to tell them that they're going to die because, as I have mentioned, I don't want them to feel pain. When do you wish you remembered better? Honestly, I wish I remembered better what I have studied 5 minutes ago before I started recording this video. I honestly don't remember anything right now, but let's not talk about this. Maybe I'll come to a conclusion about why this matters after the exam. Because if I speak now and one of my lecturers sees this video, they might take away the leverage that we have because of this pandemic. Who is the single best person you have ever met? What makes them the best? Um, Honestly, I do have a few really good friends of mine. Two of them actually. One is from Iran and one is from Egypt. These two people, whenever I call them and I tell them that I have a problem, they will always show up. They'll be there for me. And to be honest, I'm just more than happy that they actually took the privilege and the time of being there for me, regardless of whatever is going on. If you guys have some really amazing friends such as these that would stand by you when the times are hard, you are more than lucky, and majority of us in this world, well, some of us actually don't have that privilege, so please don't lose these people at any cost. But the single best person is probably a good friend of mine. He's the Irani guy. Like, whenever I want to do something which is incredibly stupid, he's just gonna be there and join in because why not? Like, the other guy would try to elaborate with logic why this is going to work and why I shouldn't do this and that. But for someone who doesn't work with logic right now, and I just work a little bit based on emotion, I would say that having someone who just kicks in the fun and doesn't care about the consequences, that just makes life a whole lot more fun. What is something you know is going to happen but hasn't yet? Seeing a few friends of mine lose their girlfriends because they were acting like weak, needy people just makes me feel really bad for them because these girls are bound to lose respect for them. And the moment that they lose respect for them and these guys have nothing to offer, they're going to lose these girls. But I just don't want to tell them because I don't want to feel guilty for them. I'm a complete hypocrite for actually answering earlier that I would tell my favorite person that they're gonna die and not telling my friends about losing their girlfriend. But hey, I'm just being me right now. Have you ever gotten a hunch about something that turned out to be true? I have no idea what a hunch is, so I'll just skip this question for now. What is the most dangerous thing you've ever done, and why did you do it? The most dangerous thing I would say I've ever done was literally 2 hours ago. And to be honest, I was in an elevator. There was this girl and a guy with her, and that's what made it even more dangerous that there was a guy with her. And I just thought that her perfume smells really good. And what the majority of us would do in this situation? Assume that the guy is her boyfriend and just walk away, right? Well, that's not what I did. What I did instead is I have approached the two of them a few minutes after we left the elevator because I was like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? So I approached the guy and this girl, and then I realized that the guy was actually her brother. The girl had a boyfriend. I asked her out. She gave me the boyfriend excuse, and things didn't go well. And to be honest with you, this is not the first time for me to actually approach a girl, but the only reason why I ever do it is because it's dangerous. I like to do personally, for me, over recent years, anything that sounds dangerous or out of the law or not normal or scary or terrifying or any of that, I'm just going to do it. Why exactly do I want to do it? Because I want to break the fear barrier that I have. So, personally, for me, that's the only reason why I ever do dangerous stuff because I want to tell myself, hey, this is scary, but if we do it and we succeed in it, we have a story to tell. And that's what life is all about for me. What do you think is worth dying for, if anything? Um, Something that is worth dying for? For me, probably being a good, well, a world-class YouTuber and a world-class engineer. And why exactly do I think that they're worth dying for? Well, being a world-class engineer because I like to be practical and do things that no one has done before. That's reason number one. But another reason is because I just find electronics engineering quite interesting. And something else that is worth dying for will probably, what was the other thing? Yeah, being a good YouTuber. Well, I mean, I heard that YouTube makes good money, but I'm also passionate about making videos. I like to do prank videos, risky videos, dangerous videos. But because of the MCO that's going on here in Malaysia right now, unfortunately, I couldn't do any of that. But hopefully, my content will get much, much better once the lockdown is over. But for now, this is the best that I could do is just record Reddit videos on Zoom and just upload them on YouTube. Is there anything you have vowed never to do? Yes, there is, but I'd rather not speak about this right now for personal reasons. So I'll skip this question. Under what circumstances do you think you could kill someone, if any? Under no circumstances are you ever allowed to kill anyone, except if that person is attacking you. Like if someone's attacking me and I tell that person, like, okay, let's keep this as simple as possible. There was a saying by Bruce Lee that I will take 100 steps backward to avoid a fight, but I'll not take a single step back once it starts. I think this perfectly reflects on me. I will take a lot of steps backward to avoid starting a fight, but if the other person gets triggering way, way too much and crosses the limits that he wants to start a fight, there's not a single step taken back. And if that person suddenly tries to kill me, I will kill them and I'm not going to feel any sort of remorse for them for the simple fact that I was just fighting in self-defense, not to attack the other person. I'm not going to feel bad for killing someone under this situation. What's your favorite memory with your best friend? Uh, I really don't have many right now, but one of the good memories is probably just doing something incredibly stupid and having a good laugh about it. That's what life is all about. What is a profession you admire but could never be a part of? To be honest, there is none right now. If there's something that I want, I will go get it at any cost. I don't care what it takes, I'll get what I want. What is something you enjoy doing but would never do again? Something I would enjoy doing? Yeah, my addiction to the online MMO called RuneScape when I was a kid. Kind of made a promise that I will quit this game for good because it was taking an incredibly big toll on my entire life. And let's say that it was never worth it for me. What object best defines who you are? Um, Probably an arrow. What do you know about an arrow? Like when you take an arrow and you just pull it back, you're gonna pull it back a lot, right? But the more you pull it back, the more accurate it gets shot. And We all know that an arrow is never struck by resistance, the same way that some of us are never influenced by external factors, and it always aims until, well, it always fires until it hits its target. The arrow never stops due to air, the same way that some of us will never stop just because a few people disagree with us. That's the way that I would describe myself relevant to an object. What is the strongest emotional connection you've ever felt with a person? It doesn't have to be romantic. Unfortunately, my strongest emotional connection was with a girl many years ago, and it was romantic. And I'll never be able to forget this girl. I have absolutely no idea why exactly this girl that I'm super hooked into, but I think it was because she was giving me way too much attention and she just took it away. It was very painful back then, so that's a permanent memory for me. But yeah, that was a very strong emotional connection, and I will never be able to forget it. Do you have, or have you ever had a nemesis? I have no idea what a nemesis is, so I'll also skip this question. What's the biggest fight you've ever gotten into, and what was it about? When I was a kid, I got into a fight with two of my friends, a big guy and a smart guy who manipulates the big guy basically. And it was because these two guys decided to hack my account in the RuneScape game that I keep talking about a lot. And they basically emptied my bank, and whenever I keep rebuilding, they would do the same. And because I was a weak guy back then, I couldn't do anything about it but build over myself. My mother would always encourage me not to fight back. Well, because I was her only son, so she just wanted to protect me. But and I'm still the only son. But yeah, one day I just kind of lost it all, and I got into a fight with these guys for the most horrendous reason, and it made absolutely no sense. But as you could tell, I wouldn't get into a fight unless this was hours and hours and hours worth of work. They just decided to throw away out of greed because they knew exactly how powerful I was what I was able to do. So they wanted to slow me down at all costs. I freaking hated these guys, and I still do, although one of them is still a friend of mine. What would the ideal version of your life look like? Physically fit, has all the money in the world, gets all the girls that he wants, has no problems. But again, that's an ideal scenario. And from these four, you could only pick two or three. You can't pick all four. What was the most recent thing that made your belly laugh? Uh, Probably it was a meme on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken, about there was a truck and some guy was like, your brain is like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then he does it and he jumps over the truck. It's one of these ramps on a truck that you just jump over and you press the bridge in video games. I thought it was funny. But something that consistently keeps me laughing is probably Aussie Man reviews. I really like this guy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching part 9 of this series. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please make sure to hit the like below. It really makes a world difference for me. Hit the subscribe, turn on the bell notifications. Comment down below if there was any specific part that you agree or disagree with me about. And make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It would really mean the world to me. And without further ado, thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you in part 10 whenever I feel like releasing part 10. Have a good one, folks. Peace.